ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brian Vaughn, your host as always of the WSC Lounge. And right now I want to welcome my guest to the show at this time. She is country pop singer and songwriter, Callie. Callie, welcome to the WSC Lounge.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. How did you get your start in music?
Well, it's I kind of grew up in music. My mom is a classical singer, and so I grew up listening to kind of everything from classical music to country to rock to everything, and the country's always been real close to my heart. And so I put it off for a long time, just kind of doing stuff with church and taking care of my family. And but when my grandmother passed away, almost like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago or so now, she was my best friend. And I think everybody kind of, when they really decide to go through something in their life, there's usually some kind of a push that really kind of gives them, like ignites that fire. So then her passing really kind of, I mean, it's so cliche, but it really kind of put into perspective like how short life is, and it really just made me want to go after my dreams more than ever. And she meant so much to me and inspired me so much in my life that I really saw like my music as being able to inspire people as she did me. So really, that was really the biggest thing. But I've been a music lover my whole life, that's for sure.
Wow, you know that's wonderful that your grandmother was able to inspire you to go to the next level and to not give up on your dreams. And I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother, but I know she's watching over me. She's got this whole thing. So. Oh yeah, most definitely. You mentioned I don't want to get off topic, but you mentioned your mother is a singer for country or gospel.
She does classical. She does classical music.
Who's
so, like totally different.
Who is your mom?
She goes by Jacqueline Culpepper.
Jacqueline Culpepper. Oh, okay. I don't know if I've ever heard that name or not. If I've seen a video, I might remember. I'm not sure.
Yeah. As far as classical music goes, she's pretty dang good. She's awesome. So it's kind of cool having her around, because if I ever need anything, like any kind of vocal help, especially with like vocal health, or just different kind of tips on things, she's right there able to kind of be my voice coach as well as my mom, and she's just awesome. So you have to look her up too. She's great.
Okay, I'll have to do that. And so you work on farms, like with horses and different animals and stuff?
Yeah, I have worked with horses since I was, I've ridden since I was 6, but I kind of did trail riding stuff when I was younger as well. But I have worked on horse farms most of my life for the most part. I know you saw on my Instagram pictures and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I have a 14-year-old thoroughbred. He's great, and so I work out there where he is. But I've worked on a couple of different farms now, and I just love it. It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but it's something else.
That sounds so interesting. So do you ride the horses too, or?
Yeah. We have I think we have 11 right now at this farm. So not too many, but I ride a handful of them out there. But I just have one.
Okay, so
he just thinks he's the greatest thing in the world.
so is it
actually?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Actually, on my EP, on the cover photo of my EP for Unbridled, that's actually 40. That's my horse on the cover.
Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you this: with the horses, is it easy to train them, or is it complicated to train them like a dog, or is it?
Well, my horse thinks he's a dog. I'm pretty sure. He follows me around. He just thinks he's the greatest thing under the sun. But it kind of depends. It's kind of like working with dogs or even people and stuff. Like some people and some dogs like are totally willing to adjust to whatever you ask them to do, and then some horses are very opinionated and think that they're just always right, and you know sometimes you just kind of have to get them to understand that they don't always get to just kind of do what they want to do. So it just kind of depends.
So now this is a joke, but I mean he may really do this. I don't know. Does he roll over if you say roll over?
No, but that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You know.
That would be awesome. I have to work on that.
Yeah. You have a southern accent like myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
So you're from the Carolinas, correct?
Yeah, I'm from
Okay.
North Carolina, and my family's kind of born and raised in North Carolina. My mom is from the mountains, and my dad's from Hickory, so we're all stuck around here.
Yeah, I'm from Georgia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where?
Close to Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was when I was first looking at colleges and stuff, I was gonna go to school. I was to possibly go to school in Rome, Rome, Georgia, but I ended up staying home for family and stuff.
Well, that's cool. That's really cool. So on the horses, do you ever compete in any horse races or anything?
I didn't do racing. Actually, my horse was a racehorse until he was 9, so he would love to do that. But we do. I really don't compete much at this point. I'll do one every once in a while, but I just kind of enjoy riding. I spend so much time with music and stuff that I don't really put a lot into competing at this point. But we did for a little while. We did what's called eventing. And so you have like dressage, which you can kind of think of as like ballet with horses, and then show jumping. So you're kind of jumping on a specific course, and you have to do it with a specific time and kind of fast and accurate. And then cross country, which you kind of have so many miles that it's kind of like running cross country, like how people do that, and then there's jumps along the way. So there's like a specific way for you to go. So we did that for a little while, but we haven't really done much. I've just been working on music.
So one other question on the farm, and then we'll get back to music.
Yeah,
do you raise any other kind of animals besides horses?
Right now, no. We have a couple cats that come eat mice and stuff, of course. But other than that, we really just kind of have the horses. I worked at one farm for a little while that had a little miniature pony and miniature donkey, and the donkeys are fine. They're a mess.
Oh.
But they're quite the opinionated things, speaking of. But
Yeah.
I would love. I've already decided when I'm older that I'll have my farm and have it'll be like the ark, and I'll have a whole bunch of different animals, and just I would love to have just all of them.
Well, that'll be really cool. I can see it now. You know, pop country singer Callie has her own farm, and it's like the Ark, and all over the news. You know,
Absolutely.
all over the world.
Oh yeah. I would love it. That would be awesome.
So, what is the biggest? What's the biggest crowd you would say that you've performed in front of?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. Honestly, I think the biggest thing, well, two different things. One, a couple months ago, I was honored to be able to sing on the news. So we were on Fox News, and so getting to do that, I got to basically perform for a bunch of people, just not directly, just everything on live TV. But probably, I think the biggest thing in my life, but maybe, I don't think quite 1,000 yet, but probably in the hundreds for sure, just in different venues in my life. But I love it. 10 or 10,000, I just love it.
Wow. So what was it like the first time you debuted as a singer going up in front of the crowd? Did you get nervous or have any stage fright, or was it just natural once you got up there?
Well, it's tricky because I actually, I've sung all my life, and I've done many solos through school performances or church performances. So stepping out for myself, really just being my own music, I wasn't really nervous as far as just being in front of people. But I think as a writer and as a lyricist, when you step out with music that is totally your own, and music that's not covers, and really pushing your own stuff, I wouldn't say I was necessarily nervous about it, but I think you just become very aware of the audience at that point, because you want them to like it. Like, you want them to like what you're writing and to appreciate it. And even though that doesn't always happen, or sometimes you have a lot of people that love it, it's always nervous. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking when you go out with brand new stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of nice too, because you don't get pictured as a different artist. You're not being compared to a different artist. And so it's kind of cool to be able to step out with your same stuff, with your own stuff as well. But no, I wouldn't say I was necessarily nervous. So I just think it's cool. I love it.
Well, it's kind of like that saying goes, often imitated, never duplicated, you know. And, you know, you're your own self, you know, and you don't try to be Carrie Underwood or Taylor Swift or, you know, Reba McEntire, you know, any of them. And you're your own self. And I always try to ask the singers this, because I know that there's different answers from each singer, but whenever you're getting ready to do a performance, how long does it take you to tune up your instruments and go over your soundtracks and all that? I mean, how long would you say that it usually takes before your performance?
I like to give myself at least a half an hour just to kind of mentally get in it, really get focused, and make sure that I'm really in the game. And I like to kind of say a little prayer, go over my words, and make sure everything's great. And I am currently working with the greatest guitarist, who's just an absolute sweetheart, who's just worked hard and just a great musician overall. And so he and I really mesh well, and so once we get focused, maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes beforehand, we're ready to go. But I mean, I'm totally happy just walking up out of the blue and doing a performance as well. I really don't have too much problem with it. But I like to have a little bit of time just to kind of say a little prayer and collect myself, and then I'm ready to roll.
Well, you know, prayer is always good. I mean, you know, without prayer, we wouldn't be here, and it's always good to, you know, pray before doing anything, you know, because God does help, you know.
Yeah.
Can you sing some songs down there, or would that be possible?
Sure, I can
Okay.
Go through a little bit. Sure.
Okay.
Is acapella fine? Just kind of going along?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, I will go through, hopefully the sound will be fine over the phone. So, off Unbridled, I have one of my songs, which is one of my favorites on the album. It's called Weak in the Knees.
Okay.
So, I'll go through that if you like.
Okay, thank you.
When it looks like you do tonight. It's dangerous, you know. When you look at me with those eyes, you make it hard to say no. When you turn to me and take my hand, my heart can't take the love that I'm in. You got me weak at my knees, like I'm only 17, sneaking around to catch a kiss, to catch a glimpse of what it's like, laying close by your side. When the storms come out, my wild heart is ready to run. And when you hold me like you do, there's nowhere else, there's no one. Oh, got me weak at my knees, like I'm only 17, sneaking around to catch a kiss, to catch a glimpse of what it's like, being close by your side. Kiss my neck, I'll hold my breath and tell ourselves the night won't end, losing track of the time we've spent, but still, oh, you got me weak at my knees, like I'm only 17, sneaking around to catch a kiss, to catch a glimpse of what it's like, being close by your side, weak at my knees, like I'm only 17, sneaking around to catch a kiss, to catch a glimpse of what it's like, laying close by your side. Oh, I'm looking for a moment, oh, by your side. That's Weak in the Knees. That's the new single we're pushing right now. So if y'all like it, find it on iTunes or Spotify, Google Play, kind of any of the streaming or online purchases, and then we have actually like physical CDs for sale on my website as well. So.
Wow, I'll tell you what, that was incredible. How old are you? About 17, 18?
I'm 21.
21.
21.
Wow. Well, you singing. When I was listening to it, reminded me of Carrie Underwood when she started out, or.
Oh, that's such a huge honor. I
mean,
just love her. I think she's fantastic.
I really think that I really think you're gonna really make it out there, in the music industry. I know that it says on your site that you're the next country music singer taking the world by storm, and you really are. I mean, that was incredible. I mean, that was like a performance you would hear on America's Got Talent or something. I mean, that was really good. Really good.
Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have you ever played at the Grand Ole Opry?
Oh no, but I would just absolutely just be over the moon if I did. Oh, I have been a handful of times to listen to other people perform, and it is just, as far as country music goes, that is royalty right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, most definitely. There's a lot of the singers that I've had on the show. Their dream is to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. And what about in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, at the Comedy Barn? Have you ever performed there? Yeah, they have different shows they do. They have comedy, like comedy people get on stage and do different things, and then they have some clog dancers and just different things they do. And I mean, and they also have singing too. And I mean, you would be good at that. I think going over there and doing some of the shows at the Comedy Barn in Tennessee. It's in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, I'll have to head out there. Maybe y'all see me out there at some point.
Yeah, you'll have to do that. It would be great. So how many songs do you have on your new EP coming out called Unbridled?
I have six on there, and one of them my producer wrote, and then the other five are all mine. So.
Wow.
And then my guitarist and I, we do really well. He's a great musician, and I'm more of a lyricist. So we've been working, and we've got, 3 or 4 that we're just kind of working on as of now. So hopefully we'll have some kind of recording for those as well, but before too long. So, but Unbridled's got 6. There's Girl in the Star, Unbridled, I Need You, Weak in the Knees, Earthquake, and Wrong for Me.
Wow. So what is just out of curiosity, what is Earthquake about? What is that?
Earthquake is a very ballady song. It's a really, really strong kind of emotional song, and I wrote it one day. I just kind of wrote the lyrics just as themselves, and really the song is kind of, sometimes people get in relationships and one of the people in the relationship may kind of leave the relationship thinking they will kind of rock the other person's world and really be that one that got away or so. But it's kind of, the song kind of flips it around, and the chorus is, you thought you came in like an earthquake, and then at the end of the chorus it says, but I'll always be your earthquake. So instead of basically the guy kind of rocking the girl's world and really throwing off her life, it's basically her saying, no, I'll always be the one that you let get away. So it kind of flips it around. Instead of it being this kind of sad breakup song, it's kind of empowering for the girl in the song. So it's a strong one for sure.
Okay, well that's good. You took that and switched it around and called it that, and I'm guessing wrong for me means like the person wasn't right for you, and all that. I'm guessing. I don't know. Just by the title.
Yeah, wrong for me is just like that, and that's actually the one that my producer wrote, and that was the first one that we really did for this album, and it was one that I heard the demo for, and I just loved it, and so we just kind of rolled from there, and it was a kind of game on from there. That's what I kind of gave the birth to the entire EP, really.
And can you tell us about the other 3 that exactly what they where they came from and what they mean?
Yeah, so Girl in the Bar, it's a real fun, just kind of catchy, just jamming in the car kind of song, and it's kind of just that classic country in the sense of turning things around, and a lot of times us women go to bars and meet all kinds of crazy guys, and so basically in the song the girl meets a guy who still lives with his mom, and she's kind of like, no. There's one where there's a guy who's married, and then there's a guy who comes up and basically is an ex of the girls, and he comes up, and knocks the other guy off the stool because he's jealous, and so it's just a fun, goofy song it's a good jamming in the car kind of song.
Yeah.
I Need You is a really cool song. It has kind of more of a beach beachy vibe to it. So it's kind of a nice, just sunny day song. And I think lyrically, this is probably my favorite one on the EP. But overall, Week in the Knees is my favorite. But lyrically, I Need You is really cool. We go through kind of a lot in our lives and stuff, and the whole song is kind of, well, some people need to take a drink, or some people need to take a day and kind of get over things, and that are going crazy in the world. Like, people are fighting and stuff over money and all kinds of silly stuff, and basically the whole thing is like, I don't need all those things because I've got you. Because I've got you in my life. That I don't need to go to drinking or taking days off or whatnot, because you helped me get through all that. So it's a real sweet, kind of fun, not just she loves song, but it's a good song, just for a good relationship. And then Unbridled is really cool. It's the title track of the EP, and it means a lot to me, just in general, because so much of this journey and making this EP was me kind of stepping away from the amount of time that I was focused on, like, my family, and really being just so structured and stuff, and stepping out and letting myself be unbridled, per se, and letting myself go after my dreams and not really worry about the other things that are going on, but really just take the time to go for it and live unbridled and be everything that I can. So it kind of structured a bit as she's a young girl who is spending time working on the farms and all this, and decides to take the time to leave and go sing and go after her dreams and perform. And it's kind of the song version of my life over the past few years. So that one means a lot to me.
Well, can you sing that one and the one you talked about, the car, in the car?
Oh, Girl in the Spark?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have it together.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will direct them over to pop country singer Callie, and she'll answer your questions or comments you may have.
All right, so we'll do Unbridled first.
Okay.
City born, country raised, in the morning for friends who are selling hay. Never going out, never leaving town, but she feels the wind change. There's so much more to my life, I've got so much more to be. Something set my soul on fire, so please understand me. But there's something that I gotta do, it's in my blood and you know it's true. Yeah, I feel it in the air, it's calling me. And you pick the wild horses running, like a train, no way of stopping. Come with me if you think that you can handle. Wanna free cause I'm living unbridled. I've been holding back way too long, breaking free everything full throttle. Come with me if you think that you can handle, cause I'm living unbridled. Bright lights, so energized, nothing like when the barn held her spotlight. That audience, not just a friend, who's hearing what she's singing. Oh gosh, now I'm going blank. Like getting distracted. I'm sorry, hello.
Oh, that's okay.
I haven't signed this in a couple weeks, so yeah, I'll just start from the verse. Bright lights, so energized, nothing like when the barn held her spotlight. That audience, not just a friend, who's hearing what she's singing. I miss the quiet nights, the fields of horses and dreams, but I open my eyes. I'm still feeling life, 'cause I'm living unbridled. But it's something that I gotta do. It's in my blood and you know it's true. Yeah, I can feel the freedom in the air, and it's calling me. Can you picture what horses running? Like a train, no way of stopping. Come with me if you think that you can handle. Water free, 'cause I'm living unbridled. I've been holding back away too long. Breaking free and put your full throttle. Come with me if you think that you can handle. 'Cause I'm living unbridled. Miss the quiet nights, the fields of horses and dreams. But I open my eyes, I'm still full of life. I'm living unbridled. But it's something that I gotta do. It's in my blood and you know it's true. I can feel the freedom in the air, and it's calling me. Can you picture what horses running? Like a train, no way of stopping. Come with me if you think that you can handle. Water free, 'cause I'm living unbridled. I've been holding back away too long. Breaking free and put the full throttle. Come with me if you think that you can handle. 'Cause I'm living unbridled.
That was great. That was great. Before you sing the next song, I want to ask you something. Did you ever audition for American Idol when it was on?
You know, it's funny, I did. When I was younger, I think I was I must have been a freshman in high school or so, sophomore in high school, so I was younger and didn't quite know what all I wanted out of it, and I don't think it was quite right timing yet, so I didn't get it, I got a no, but I guess I gotta do it alone now, so that's fine.
Okay. Well, did you have to, well, I'm sure you probably did. How was it to face Simon Cowell?
Well, actually, there's a lot of auditions before you get to meet them.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, so I auditioned at the Hornets Arena now in Charlotte, but it was Bobcats at that point. And so it was crazy. There were just probably thousands of people there, all kind of auditioning. So there was just, I think, maybe 10 tables that you kind of walk up to one of them, and there's 2 or 3 judges per table, and you have 5 people or 4 people in your group that sing, and they're kind of like yes, no, or
wow,
whatever. So it's a crapshoot for sure. You have no idea kind of what you're getting into.
Yeah, I missed that show because it went off the air. I mean, but that was a good show that produced a lot of talent. I mean, from Taylor Hicks to Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson, Ruben Studdard. I mean, so many. I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So,
well,
there are rumors though that it might be coming back.
Oh, really?
There are rumors. Yeah, I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard it somewhere.
Wow. Well, that would be really good. That would be good. Hey, and if it comes, what is the age limit on not being able to audition for American Idol? About 40 or?
I don't know if there is. It must be maybe like 40s or so.
Okay.
But I know you have to be 15 because I think I was just either 15 or 16 because I know I was right at the cutoff when I auditioned.
Okay. Well, I'm 34, and I mean I don't.
You can still audition. Oh, let's go together.
Yeah, I don't think I would last though, because I mean I would have to hold a songbook in my hand to sing, because I mean I don't know the songs by heart. It's kind of funny. I'll tell you a little funny story. There's actually only one song that I know by heart, and I learned it off of wrestling, and it was these guys in a stable. They were in a group. It was Barry Windham and the late Kurt Hennig and Bobby Dumpkin Jr. and it was Barry Windham's brother Kendall Windham. And this is how the song goes, and it's not long, but what it was, the name of their gimmick was the West Texas Rednecks, and they hated rap. So every time they got on the screen, they would sing this song. They would go, "I like country music, I like country girls, I like Willie Nelson, and don't forget about Pearl's only one thing that I hate, and it's a bunch of crap. I hate rap. Rap is crap. I like NASCAR racing. Richard Petty's still the king. Some people call me a redneck, but you know that's a beautiful thing. It's only one thing that I hate, and it's a bunch of crap. I hate rap. Rap is crap." I mean, you know, that's the whole song I know, and I mean, I learned that from them doing that, and but you know, and I'm not a rap fan, but I mean, I have listened, to some rap before, but I mean, I'm not a rap fan. All those inappropriate lyrics, and you know what I mean, all that stuff. I think one of the only rap songs that I ever got tickled about that I actually liked was that song you've probably heard it. "Who Let the Dogs Out?" Yeah. I think it was the No Limit Soldiers that sang that song. I think, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But what is your next song now? You're gonna sing in the car or?
It's called Girls in This Bar.
Girls in the Bar?
Okay. Girl in This Bar.
Girl in This Bar, okay.
Alright. Hold on 1 second. Alright. You slowly kiss my neck and say you like if I let you go on and take me home. So let you take me, but I never hesitated to leave the door open, and there was your mom. Oh, every girl in this bar has got a story to tell about kind of exes providing from hell. We'll talk and we'll put on in the morning. It's a night to go out, it's a gamble being a girl in this bar. Looking too good to be true. My eyes were locked on you, so I couldn't believe you was calling me over. You reached to pay the tab, and you chill the evening. Please out for your cash, come on now. You got to ring, every girl in this bar has got a story to tell. I got our final Texas over a Friday from hell. We'll talk and we'll flirt some and get some dirt on. It's a life to talk, the devil being a girl in this bar. Trying to have a good night with my girls and this guy who I knew back when we had mama. A flirty couple of fools, but still want to act good. Playing and not your muscles do. Oh, in this bar, it's got a story to tell. About final exes or a finding from hell. We'll talk and we'll put some and get some dirt on it. It's a life, it's a devil being a girl in this bar. Every girl in this bar has got a story to tell. About final exes or a finding from hell. We'll talk and we'll put some and get some dirt on it. It's a life, it's a gamble being a girl in this bar. Yeah, that's Girl in This Bar. That's a fun little touch song.
That was really good, and you actually gave me an idea. It would be funny if if you approached a friend or something that was into doing reality TV or something. You said, "Hey, you can make a show, and you can go interview girls in a bar, and they got a story to tell."
Oh yeah, you would get some great stories, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. I just happened to think about that when you were singing that. That'd be interesting.
There's some crazy people out there, that's for sure. It's funny.
Oh yeah, you would get some wild stories. I mean, probably have to be censored.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what all kind of stories you give. You get some crazy ones.
Oh yeah.
So who are your music inspirations, Callie?
Well, of course, the one and only Carrie Underwood. She's just fantastic and so talented. But I have to say my mom and my grandmother just because I have to. They're just amazing and really just influenced my music from the beginning. But I love Carrie Underwood, Miranda Lambert, Casey Musgraves, Maren Morris, of course, George Strait, Garth Brooks, Randy Travis is one of my all-time favorites. I did got to go to the Randy Travis tribute concert a couple months ago, which was just absolutely amazing and it just unbelievable.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was huge. But I kind of listen. A lot of people have like one style of music that they listen to, and of course I listen to pretty much all country at this point. But I really love like the variations in bluegrass music. Like I really love pulling in more of the traditional bluegrass instruments into country music, like keeping that banjo in there and mandolin and all that kind of stuff. So a family friend of mine is actually in the bluegrass band called Balsam Range, and they're just incredible and so talented. And so I listen to their stuff all the time. So check them out. If you're interested, they're really, really good. And lyricy and kind of with their melodies and everything inspire me a lot too. They're just pretty incredible.
And they're called Boston Castle?
Balsam Range.
Balsam Range?
Balsam Range, yeah.
Okay. I have to check them out. So do you play any instruments?
I pedal around on the piano a little bit, but not seriously. But I'm trying to learn guitar better. I've got some chords and stuff down, but not full length kind of stuff. So my guitarist is wonderful and is helping me a little bit, but I'm teaching myself a lot of my own. And I've got a couple songs that I can play, but just I would love to be able to play really well and be great at the guitar, but it just takes a little bit of time, muscle memory, and we're getting there, but not quite yet.
Okay, well, I got to tell you something funny, and I don't know if your producer told you this or not, but when I called to book you for this interview, I called the number you gave me, and I said, I want to book Carrie. She's a pop country singer. They said, okay, sir. They said, just send the record here, and we'll give the list and everything. I said, no. I said, you don't understand. I said, I interview people on the show called the WSC Lounge. I said, I want to book Carrie, and they said, Carrie. I said, yeah. I said she told me to call her producer at this number. And I said, she don't have a last name on Twitter, no. They said, oh, Callie. I said, yeah, Callie. I said, I don't know why I said Carrie. But we got that straightened out, though. I thought that was funny, though. Got your name mixed up and called you Carrie. But what are the coincidences? One of your inspirations, Carrie Underwood. So.
Oh, yeah. She's just, I think not only is she extremely talented and just incredible, but she's just amazing and beautiful and so gifted. But I love one that she has had a 10-year plus career now and has just made such a huge impact in country music and really is one of the kind of long span, not like a one-hit wonder kind of artist, and she's just great. But I also love that she incorporates her faith in her music, and I feel like that is a big portion of country music is kind of bringing in a lot of gospel influence, and so it's cool there. I love looking up to her because she has songs like "Do Take the Wheel" and "Something in the Water," and
yes, I love those
really
songs.
Interesting because a lot of artists are like don't want to share that kind of personal stuff, which is totally fine. And I'm totally fine with that, and I think everybody should do them and be them. But it's really cool when you have an artist that isn't afraid to kind of share that personal side of them and share their faith with others. And so I think that it's just an interesting thing about her that kind of sets her apart in my mind.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, that Jesus Take the Wheel and the Water song. You know, I love both of them. That Jesus Take the Wheel, though, I tell you, I don't listen to that so many times. I mean, that's such a inspiring song that she wrote. And another thing, I was going to ask you, have you ever got a chance to watch? I know it's been off the air for years, but have you ever got a chance to watch Reba or also another singer who's kind of got a show going on now? I love Kelly Pickler. Have you ever got a chance to watch any of those two shows?
No, I haven't watched Kelly Pickler's show. She's so cute. She's so tiny.
Yeah.
She's got a great voice. But I watched Reba a lot when I was younger. I haven't watched it much recently.
Yeah, they have
You're watching TV shows on Netflix all the time, of course. But
okay.
I used to watch Reba all the time when I was younger.
Yeah, they have reruns of Reba on Lifetime, and if you have Hulu, you can watch all of Reba because they have Reba on Hulu. You know, the TV show.
Oh, I'll have to find it.
And I love Kelly Pickler's on CMT, but I don't. They had 2 seasons, so I don't think they've had a 3rd season yet of I Love Kelly Pickler. But
she's from not too far from me, from Albemarle. It's about an hour away, maybe.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's not from too far away.
Wow. I wanted to ask you, can you stay on the phone? I want to ask you something related to the show after the show goes off. I'm fixing to. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and end the show, and then I'll ask you that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the WSC Lounge today. Hope you enjoyed the show. That was country pop singer and songwriter Callie, and I hope you'll go to iTunes and check out her new CD, Unbridled, and hope you enjoyed the show. And don't forget, Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's on April the 24th, we're going to be having Brandon, now my brain's freezing.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to have the owner
We're all ready for the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to have the owner of MXCW on the show Monday. MXCW Wrestling. He's also actor and a recently referee on Impact Wrestling. So join the show on Monday. And until then, we'll let Mike Mooneyham close us out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another great edition of the WSC Lounge. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Brian Vaughn. This is a special 30-minute edition today of the WSC Lounge. At this time, I want to welcome my guest. He's known around the independent world. He's been all over the world. He's fought so many greats. Please welcome this time the ManScout, Jake Manning, to the WSC Lounge.
Well, hello, Brian. Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you on today. When did you know that you wanted to be a wrestler?
Probably from an early age. Like I tried to look it up along in the invention of YouTube and everything else. Like my first match, I have a vivid memory of seeing a junkyard dog match. I believe on like some sort of Coliseum video or some sort of tape that my parents either rented or got their hands on. I think I've narrowed it down to it being like Junkyard Dog versus Terry Funk, and just seeing everybody stand up when Junkyard Dog's entrance song like comes on, and as he's walking into the arena, and just all of the fantasticness of professional wrestling just struck me at a young age. And of course, I'm in that perfect age range where Hulkamania was like the coolest thing ever, right? As I'm coming to understand life and what's going on in this world as a young child. So like Hulkamania was drew me in. Then of course, getting cable in my teens and the Monday Night Wars and everything like that. So it was just kind of, I'm very lucky. I feel like was the perfect age to be a wrestling fan. And that might be debatable. Like the people that had the large satellite dishes during some of the times of like the earlier 80s, you could discuss that, but I feel like I was able to be at the perfect age and see pro wrestling grow into the art form that it is today, much like I have myself, I feel like, as an artist. So, that's early age.
Yeah, I know what you mean, cause I remember the days of, I know people, the generation growing up today, they don't know about what we grew up as. I mean, you had superstars of wrestling, you had WCW Saturday Night, you had the Monday Night Wars. I mean, you had all that great stuff, and you don't get that anymore. So I know exactly.
Also, too, there was a little bit, even with me growing up, I missed out on a lot of stuff because I grew up strictly a WWF kid because I grew up in Iowa, and the only way that I got exposed to it was WWF Superstars was syndicated, and it was paid to be on one of the local channels, and paid to be there for a certain amount of contracts. So like it'd be on for 3 weeks in a row, or I'd discover it, and then it'd be like the last 3 weeks of the contract, and then the next week you would appear on another station or at a different time, or I had to stay up late and watch the Fox affiliate, and they would run like Wrestling Challenge at like 1 a.m. or whatever. So
oh, wow.
I always had to float around with me, but usually it was like Sunday as soon as I got back from church. At the point, like, I went to church, we came home, and my parents just want to have us turn on a movie and be preoccupied. Well, usually wrestling was on, or if we got home a little bit early, I could see the whole program. It usually like last half an hour or something like that I'd pick up. But usually it was usually on Sunday mornings, and if I skipped church, I could go. But we just went to Sunday school, we skipped church, I could see the entire program. But if we went to church, the chance of me just catching the last 10 minutes of it was probably more realistic. So that was always the thing that floated around. But like the thing is, like now I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I missed out on everything that was fantastic as far as like the Crockett's NWA, WCW. Like I didn't realize WCW existed until early '95.
Wow.
So, like because I'm not exposed to it. I have cable TV. I lived in the country, so there was no way for me to. I had no idea what TBS was whatsoever, other than the channel that played Andy Griffith reruns when I would go to see my grandmother on an afternoon. But I was never watching it at 6:05 on a Saturday night until we got DirecTV, which I feel like the small satellite dishes. Nobody gives that a lot of credit in the boom of professional wrestling. Just the idea of DirecTV and Dish Network, the idea of smaller satellite dishes as opposed to getting the very large satellite dishes if you want cable in the middle of nowhere, which is basically where I was, which is a small town called Springville, Iowa, which consisted of maybe little community, these are people that would probably like pro wrestling. They couldn't see it until like the popularity of the smaller satellite dish revolution, which actually coincided with the Monday Night Wars, and I think that's probably why there was such an explosion in 1997. A lot of people had the little satellite dishes. They had DirecTV, they had Dish Network, or whatever else was available at that time, and they had more eyeballs on the product because people had more access to the product. And I think that's kind of where we're at with the internet is, internet speeds get better and better and better, and we're able to view 1080 quality footage online. I think that's only going to spur and explode the popularity of professional wrestling because it all sits on a network right now, no different than Netflix right now. And as that grows and that becomes more popular, and as that becomes the most popular way to view our media, thus pro wrestling will grow. So things are really great right now, and I think they're going to get even better for professional wrestling just because of the advances in technologies. But I led us astray and led us down a big tangent there, so you might have to stop me from that a couple of times.
Now, I want to know, where did the nicknames Mr. Elite, the ManScout, and the Elite Enforcer come from?
Well, Elite Enforcer, because I was in the middle, because I moved here, and obviously I have look a little bit like Arn Anderson and Brad Armstrong had a baby, so that's kind of how that happened. But Mr. Elite was a nickname that I was given in my wrestling school that I started in Springfield, Illinois, and they were just like, oh, we want like a Mr. Perfect knockoff, so you're Mr. Elite now, and that was my first given name out of wrestling school. I wasn't thrilled about it because I wanted to be the ManScout. Like the idea of being an overgrown Boy Scout wearing a Boy Scout outfit coming to the ring, that was always my idea from day one. But everybody told me it was a dumb idea, it was stupid, and I shouldn't do it. And it's better if you be this Mr. Perfect knockoff. And obviously that only lasted 2 years, but I've been the ManScout for over 7. So I won that argument because of the test of time.
Wow. Well, sometimes I guess you know best. If you have an idea or something and it doesn't get over, with the audience and stuff, sometimes that idea that you have is what gets over with the audience, and the one the promoter has is the one that doesn't get over with the audience. So it looks like with the ManScout situation compared to the Mr. Perfect knockoff, the late great Kurt Hennig, you went all the way with that, and it looks like your idea pretty much set sail. Because like you said, you're here 7 years later, and you're the ManScout Jake Manor. And speaking of that, I do have to bring this up because when I've had this individual on the show in the past, I've had him on twice already. He's a great guy, and he's credited his entire wrestling career to you. His name is Freight Train, and he told me that without you, that a lot of promoters and stuff they didn't believe in him. And he said that you believed in him. You put all your effort into working with him, and you got him over as a $5 champion, the $5 wrestling promotion, and he credits his career to you, Jake Manning.
That's very kind, and I credit a lot of my happiness as a person because of him, because he inspires me every day to be a good person, to believe in myself, no matter what the odds say, because that's the thing. It's like he faced a lot of adversity just to be in professional wrestling, and as soon as he was given an opportunity, he did it. He took it to the absolute max he could possibly take it, and people really responded, and he has a career now because of that. I don't know if I have nearly enough words in the English language to explain how much I appreciate and care for him. I wouldn't be with the girlfriend that I am with today. I wouldn't have the outlook that I have that allowed me to open myself up to be more positive, to have a better career that I have, or open me up to trying new things and other people's who are different than me. And that allowed me to do stand-up comedy. Everything good in my life kind of stems from my close personal friendship from Preacher. So it's very warming to know that he feels that way about me that is equal to, or at least not as big as how I feel about it. So it has changed a great deal in my life. So I'm glad that he feels or can say those things about me. That makes me very humble to hear. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. And what's it been like for you working with Premier Wrestling Experience? Because I know you've had a lot of great matches there, and I know most recently the one I seen, it was probably about 2 months ago now. It's been, you were in the main event. You were the PWX World Champion. People said you'd never be PWX World Champion. You proved them wrong, and you defended your belt against the 5-star King Anthony Henry. I thought y'all put on a solid matchup. Amber Young was, of course, in his corner, and Anthony Henry came out on top and became the PWX World Champion. What was that match like for you, and what's it been like for you working for Premier Wrestling Experience with Brian Konabrowski?
Well, I mean, like I said, PWX is a very warm spot in my heart because I've been there since the beginning, back when it was CWA and run out of Grace Park Rec Center in Statesville, North Carolina, which that doesn't even still exist anymore.
Wow.
And it had its very humble beginnings of, wrestling in front of 4 people at Grace Park Rec Center. And then, going to York, South Carolina and wrestling in front of 20 people. And it came from very humble beginnings, but now it's under new ownership, and it's really expanded, and it's, dedication to local talent as well as bringing in some of the best talent in the world. The people like Zack Sabre Jr., the Timothy Thatchers, just most recently, but also too, like in the past, bringing in people like Kevin Owens, Eddie Edwards, Jay Lethal. I also have the ability to book someone like an Adam Page or a Cedric Alexander or Callie on a regular basis. Like, it's very much a incubator for fantastic talent and very talented individuals to grow and expand. So the idea that I was on a 2-year losing streak, losing every single match in every promotion, and then winning the title and people being very excited for that, was kind of nerve-wracking because a lot of the other champions, like the crowd kind of turned on them and always wanted to see somebody else hold the belt or somebody else be the champion. That's kind of how it usually goes with you guys. So the fact that I was able to have a good match, deliver upon the promise of my championship, and then be able to, unfortunately lose the belt, but at the same time too, I feel like in the eyes of the fans, I still have their respect at the end of the day, because I don't know if a lot of the champs prior, they had felt that way. I think they either felt like, this is long overdue, or this guy's turning it waiting too long. They always had the fact that I was able to exit as a champion just as popular as when I won it, I feel like is a very admirable thing. And that was kind of my goal, is not to have everybody go, we're sick of the ManScout Jake Manning. We don't want to see him ever again. I don't think that's the case right now. So who knows? Maybe 2 shows from now, people will be sick with me at PWX. But for the time being, they seem to be, appreciative of the job I did for champion. And I feel like I'm quite proud of that match with Anthony. And I think there was a lot of people that, I didn't know how it was going to turn out or what was going to happen. And I felt like it came together quite well. And I think that's, a good match to start his title run. Hopefully he can fulfill the promises of his title run that, I set forth in mine. So, and that's kind of what you got to do. And anybody that holds that belt, I think, has to realize that it carries a certain amount of responsibility, because there's a lot of eyeballs on it. People are very curious about the product, and you being the champion, anytime you talk to anybody that is a layman or a mainstream person, when you start talking about wrestling, usually one of the first questions they ask you almost immediately is like, who is the champion of that place? Or who's the champion now? That's always the first question that everybody will always ask if they're unaware of the product. So that just goes to show how important that is and how much respect you have to give to that position, because you are the first thing that people are going to look towards when they look towards this promotion for the first time if they are unaware. So, it's a very important thing. So hopefully Anthony Henry can do just as good, if not better. I wish him nothing but the best in that, and that he does a successful job, because I'm still a part of PWX at this point in time. So I would like someone to represent it as professional as possible. So after they see him, they will stumble upon me and become fans of me, much like I hopefully have done for everybody else in PWX when I was champion.
Well, you know, one thing that I've got to honestly say, Jake, is the first time that I checked out Premier Wrestling Experience, I was blown away at the production quality, at the way the guys went out there, and they seemed to really, really put a lot of effort into it, 100%, and the storytelling was so well fit, so well done. And, you know, I've never been to a PWX show because I live down in Georgia. I know y'all are in the Carolinas, but I've seen y'all on in-demand pay-per-view plenty of times, and you know, I've just got to honestly say, hands down, you know, from Zane Riley to five-star King Anthony Henry, Amber Young, John Schuyler, so many others, you know, that I've seen on PWX, Cedric Alexander. I mean, everybody on that card seems to put on the best effort they can, and PWX, one thing I like about PWX, it isn't like, okay, well, this guy right here is higher than this guy right here. I mean, I even like the thing where where y'all had Tessa Blanchard undefeated for a while as the PWX Women's Champion, and I just think it's incredible how PWX does their production quality and does so well at that, and I just got to congratulate them on that. And you know, another thing I want to mention real quick, I know that this past Friday you were in the ring with the legendary Alberto El Patron, and what was that like?
Well, Alberto Del Patron,
Del Patron, yeah.
Alberto Del Rio. It was
yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, you know, because he's got the reputation of no showing shows, and I knew he was going to be late, so I was like, I didn't even know. Didn't even know if the match was really even going to happen, to be really quite honest. And then, of course, I found out that he had like a very hectic day traveling there, so it's like a situation of like, he might be in that mood, how's he going to handle, and he has no clue who I am, and I know that coming in. I guarantee he doesn't know who I am. You know, sometimes I don't get the best matches at Northeast Wrestling, so it's kind of got that going on, but then I get saddled with this, and at first when I was told that I was wrestling Alberto, I was like, I thought it was a joke, so I'm not even taking that for real until I see it written down on a piece of paper. Then they're changing the card around because I don't know if he's going to be there, so it was just all up and down, so I had no idea what to expect. Talked to him for like 10 minutes. He's together. It was fine. Didn't know quite exactly what we were going to do at some points, and I was like, all right. And as soon as I locked up with him, I knew it was going to be all business, so I'm like, I have to dot my I's, cross my T's, and lay in all my punches, because it was going to be a fight, and I took it to him. I didn't back down. I definitely went after him just as hard as he went after me, and we kicked it up a notch. We got far more physical than I probably anticipated. But of course, like, the crowd started to react to that, and the atmosphere in Waterbury, Connecticut. That's one thing I can say. Like, you know, the Waterbury, Connecticut crowd at Northeast Wrestling is probably one of my favorite places to wrestle for, because those fans have seen me for the last 8 years lose every single match that I've wrestled in front of them and all the other locations on the Northeast Wrestling circuit. And the fans that come to Northeast Wrestling in Waterbury, Connecticut, they've never turned their back on me. They've always been very supportive of me. They were very supportive of the last time I was up there when I wrestled Ryback. And there was a couple of chances where I almost could have beat him, but that match turned out to be far better than what anybody expected. And it turned out to be a far more back and forth competitive match than anybody expected anywhere. But like the people in Waterbury, you know, they saw me since my first match at Northeast Wrestling wrestle Richie Steamboat, which is Ricky Steamboat's son, and you know, they preceded me to lose seen me lose 50 matches now, and they got so invested in the match that I had with Alberto, and they got behind it, and Alberto, I guess, was very impressed by the situation and everything that was going on, and I think myself, and he did very good business for the company, and said very kind and nice things about the promotion as well as myself. And I feel like those people in Waterbury, who they've always liked me, and they always see me as a little loser, but at the same time too, I think now they see me in kind of a different light as a guy that can wrestle somebody who is a world champion caliber wrestler. I think they see me in that same light. Where before they were just happy that I was there, they enjoyed that I was there, they knew I was good. But I think they're like, wow, I didn't realize he was that good, and I think that's amazing. You know,
that is.
It was very cool atmosphere, and it's one of those nights. Because not every night is a standing ovation. Not every night is a really great match, or you get moments like that. And I've learned that over the last 14 years of my career that you're not going to get matches like that very often, and you got to enjoy those moments. As hard as that is for me, it's very hard for me to enjoy those moments where people say nice things about me. Like even just trying to discuss it and talk to you about it, it's hard for me to even put it into words or describe it, or like, oh, I don't want to sound like I'm too confident, or oh, I don't want to sound like, I'm trying to calculate this, as opposed to just saying like, it was very, I deserved that praise, and it was very hard. So it's even hard for me to watch it back. I was just in the middle of editing it right now for wrestling, and I was just like, I was having a panic attack just watching it, because I was hoping that there would be nothing wrong with that match that I didn't pick up on, because I knew I would nitpick it. So it's like, for the most part, there's not a lot of like things that I would change or correct, because there's always things, no matter how great or how perfect it is, there's always things I can change or do different. But apparently there's not so much in there. I'm like, oh gosh, I should have done this, or oh, it could have been better if I did this. So like, I feel like it kind of stands up even on a second watch. So like, I'm very happy with that. But it was very cool. What he did for me in that match and afterwards with the microphone, and it's kind of spurred some good things that are in motion now. Northeast Wrestling, but it's that Waterbury crowd. I have to give them a good portion of it, because they have seen me go through a lot, and they've stood by me through every turn. No matter if they knew that I was in there with a guy who was not up to par with me, they let that other guy know that whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, they let him know that I was the guy that they wanted to see come out victorious, and no matter if I haven't over like the last 50 tries, they were still going to be in my corner. So I have to give them the lion's share of the credit for how good that match was, because they really got involved, especially with a lot of the close finishes, the 2 counts, and everything else, and then even the emotional moment afterwards. So I was just glad it happened there, and not like at Danbury just down the road, or Newburgh, which is also a good town, or even at the Duchess Stadium that usually has 3,000 to 4,000 people. No, the fact that it happened in Waterbury, Connecticut, it makes it just as special, because they are very special people there.
That's incredible, Jake. And I want to say something to you. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this or not, but I've been sitting here listening to you talk, and you kind of talk like Shawn Michaels a little bit.
You're not the first person to make mention of that. There's a couple people that also would agree with you on that.
Oh wow, yeah. I was just listening to it. I was like, wow, that kind of sounds like Shawn Michaels. Well, that's pretty cool though. Can you do a Shawn Michaels impersonation or anything?
Every time I do, I change my voice, and then of course I don't sound like him anymore.
Yeah.
Basically, my career right now is kind of like a Shawn Michaels impersonation. I busted up. I had knee problems. I thought my career was over. I was getting ready to retire, and then it came back, and I started having great matches. So I guess my entire career is kind of an impersonation of Shawn Michaels. I don't know if I'm in the post I lost my smile phase, or I'm in my second act phase right now. That's always a big debate full on second act mode, or am I just that little spot right where he was doing DX right before he hurt his back and left for a while? So that's all up for debate, like where I'm at as far as my career right now. Hopefully I'm in the second act where I can just enjoy having great matches as opposed to going through another couple year long hiccup of personal tragedy and self-doubt and rehabilitation.
Well, I see we got about 3 minutes left, and I want to take that time right now in the 3 minutes to ask you if you could to promote any upcoming wrestling events you have. Also, I know that you are a actor as well as a comedian, so any upcoming events you have, comedian, comic events or anything you got coming up, go ahead and plug it.
Well, most notably, people that listen to this, please check out my podcast that I do with Zane Riley called How Did This Get Booked? Basically, how did this get made? But for professional wrestling, we watch subpar professional wrestling, or interesting professional wrestling, I should say, like things like most notably, I think the next thing we're discussing is King of the Death Match 1995 with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, and it's most certainly not a subpar event. But the reason, but one of the things we discuss, one of the things that makes us unique, that is, and different than the complete ripoff of How Did This Get Made, is we have somebody who has no idea about professional wrestling, or they were a fan when they were very young, watch this event. Like the person we're having watch this King of the Death Match is actually a doctor, a guy who went to medical school.
Oh my goodness.
Is only aware of professional wrestling what he saw when he was 6 or 8 years old, growing up in Charlotte, North Carolina. So he hasn't seen any pro wrestling whatsoever since then. And now we're going to make him watch King of the Death Match 1995. I've taken people that have never seen pro wrestling before and made them watch Halloween Havoc 95. And just ridiculous events. I've taken people that have no idea of what really pro wrestling or indie wrestling was and made them watch an XPW event. And it's just the whole hallmark of the show. So, it's the idea of taking people that are not pro wrestling fans and make them watch a wrestling show that's unique, different. They might find something good, they might find something bad, and we'll see if everything kind of jives with everything that I know and what Zane knows, and we do it in a humorous way. So, that's what I know about that show is to log on to howdidthisgetbooked.com. We're available on Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play, so leave a review and subscribe on there. Of course, I'm available on Twitter and Instagram at ManScout Manning, and also check out my YouTube page that has some of my comedy clips and pro wrestling matches as well. You can just look up youtube.com/ManScout Manning. So basically just search ManScout Manning and pretty much all the platforms are there, but please do check out howdidthisgetbooked.com.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being on, Jake. And I got to say one thing though before I let you go. You're talking about Halloween Havoc, and something you and Zane should do. I don't know if y'all done this or not, but you should have somebody watch the storyline with Chucky and Rick Steiner and see what they think of that.
I'll definitely have to bring that up for sure.
But it was great having you on, Jake, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, and hope you have a great rest of your week, and thanks so much for being on the WSC Lounge.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Brian.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the ManScout, Jake Manning, and I want to let everybody know that coming up this coming Thursday, I will be welcoming actress Jody Matera to the show. She has an upcoming reality series that she's going to be, that she's actually pitching to several networks about getting that on. And she's been in several movies as well. That is, once again, actress Jody Matera will be here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, this coming Thursday, June the 15th. So be sure and tune into that, fans. And until next time, as always, I'm going to let Mike Mooneyham close us out.